Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. I'm here with Anime Hero. Walking Dead should be here. Hopefully he does. If not, we'll just be me and him. We're going to talk about Pluto, because I finished the manga, 8 volumes of it, and figured I'd do it differently, because I did before a review of 20th Century Boys, just me, regular video. I figured I'd change it up a bit and do a live stream with a few more people to talk about Pluto. So, overall thoughts from me, this manga was pretty damn good. It felt to me similar to 20th Century Boys in a way, and to Monster, but at the same time, it had dealt with so much more things. I guess you could say racism with robots.
Oh
Human.
yeah, man, the robot KKK. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was a trip. Um, and there were some huge moments, and I was like, holy shit, no.
I know there's a body count in this series, man. You get
Yeah, it is. It was. I was.
this one. To be honest, I feel like this is one of Naoki Urasawa's series that's the most dramatic and in terms of in human emotions and feelings, because especially like just one tragic event after another. The thing is with Monster, that one's like a lot more suspenseful, but with here, I'm kind of surprised to see a little a new side to him where he could be a little more emotional, down to earth, and explore different people and their personalities on the subject matter of robots interacting with human beings.
Yeah, it really was, and like I enjoyed the different places they were there. You know, they had different names to describe of like, you know, it was like a version of the United States. There was Europe. There was Japan, and like you could tell the influence of Tezuka as you read each chapter, because like you already saw like it's there. It's just right there. You can see like the ones who did made the robots.
Yeah, you can see that Urasawa took a lot of Tezuka's themes of anti-war and the peace preservation and the whole conflict between technology overcoming humanity. He just took it like into a more gritty and sending tone, especially with I can't remember the name of that robot, but the one robot they would constantly interrogate in the room that's like all beaten up.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that one. Like, there's always like this creepy atmosphere whenever you go meet him. It's like, don't you trust me and everything. I'm like, not really. I mean, you're in here for a reason.
And he's like so beaten up and like torn apart, and his head is tilted, and I'm like
bended everywhere. It's like he should be like dead or something, but he's like, yeah, I'm just chilling here, man.
He was like, I don't want to spoil, because people who probably watch this probably aren't caught up with Pluto. Who knows who's watching this right now? But he does something towards the very end, and when I saw that page, I was thinking like, what else happened? And that was the end, and I was like, oh shit! But it was good. It was really good.
Oh yeah, trying to remember like another good thing about it with the we mentioned this earlier before the live stream started, but going back to the feels, there was just one scene in particular where people want to try to forget like all their bad memories and stuff, but in this case with the robots, they could do it like with the click of a switch or the removal of a certain like drive or something. I don't remember the specifics of the details, but basically you would see some robots have like basically in couples and live like human beings. But this is one scene where this one's wife robot's husband passes away. This cop goes to visit her and asks her if do you want the memories erased, and she refuses because even though it might be painful for her, like she doesn't want to forget him.
Yeah, she doesn't want to forget him.
Like love transcends everything, man.
Yeah.
Robots.
Yeah, it was, and the other thing that got me was towards the end with Adam. He was like, he bared everything towards the end. Really did. And I was like, holy shit. To go through all those emotions and for Tenma to put that into him
You
and he
know,
won't
just
do that.
to avoid some confusion, what just not we're not talking about Dr. Tenma from Monster Breed. We're referring to the original Dr. Tenma from Astro Boy, who's the
Yeah.
creator of of Astro and the father, and Adam is the real name as well. Because the thing is with the Zuka characters, they always have like multiple names in different countries. Like Astro Boy is Adam, fucking Princess Sapphire, something's called Princess Knight or some other thing, and then so on and so forth. But anyways, go on with Dr. Tenma. So.
Yeah. But I mean, this was a pretty awesome manga that I read. The only one I haven't read from Urasawa, well, haven't seen from Urasawa, is Billy Bat,
Mm.
which isn't complete apparently, from what I heard.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. That's why it's going monthly, I believe. The last time I read it was like a year ago, with honesty, and I don't think it's still done. But it's very insightful because it starts off. It's not about a mangaka. It's more specifically about a comic book artist that lives in America who is Japanese descent. The story starts off that there's this cop that investigates him, see if he knows anything about this recent murder case, and he goes like, I don't know anything. He takes a look at his comic and he says that I seen that character in Japan. Then it starts off thinking there might be some copyright issue or some plagiarism. So he goes to Japan, and from there he gets caught up into like this conspiracy leading to these different murders. And then the point of the story, which is not much of a spoiler that I'm gonna say, is that whatever the main character draws in his comic is basically the future.
Mm. Oh,
So
really? Wow.
yeah, so that leads to like a bunch of murder mysteries for later on, and there are some scenes that I kid you not that are straight out of Monster though, if you recall, there's this one scene where Anna was kidnapped by like this Nazi organization. This guy's like eating something while he's talking, and then there's this other scene where Johan leaves a message on on the wall saying there's a monster inside me, and that same scene is found in Billy Bat, where just one guy is like writing different things on the wall, and then
Wow.
I noticed that he tends to reuse certain things in all of his series, like even in the Pluto manga. It's once again all of his stories start off with unsolved murder cases.
Yeah, unsolved murder cases. Like, what I really liked about it also was, like, Geesh was obviously, like, you can't really point a main character, but if you want to point a main character that is constant to a certain extent in Pluto, it's Geesh, because
Yeah.
he gets involved with this case, and he finds out people getting murdered this way, and the clue is these horns that are placed somewhere on the victim, preferably near their head, and
Mm.
he goes through the process of finding out what exactly occurred, bit by bit.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's definitely like Urasawa's take on the story. Because Geesh, like in the original Astro Boy, wasn't too much of a character. He, like obviously in the original series, Astro Boy was the main focus, but here he decided to go with like this character that really had no personality whatsoever and just make it his own. And in this one, you could definitely see Urasawa's more point of view, since it fits his more style of storytelling since it's a murder mystery and that's what he tends to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Um.
The same thing goes with the character Pluto, because I don't want to give too much away, but in the
Oh
original,
well, you know.
yeah, but in the original series, the Pluto machine was actually, he had a mind of his own, but here he could kind of, well, you know what I'm talking about. He doesn't have too
Yeah,
much of
yeah.
he's more like a plot device kind of tool in this story, but still
Um.
intimidating, still intimidating though.
Let me take a look at the comments. What we got here? Uh. Okay. Okay. Someone's just saying, "Don't spoil Monster and 21st Century Boys." We didn't do that.
No, we didn't do that.
We didn't do that. um. Oh. Kiro Sagi saying, "I plan on getting into the series at some point. Can't stay for long, but will recheck the stream later. Nice work, Bonka. Thank you." Yeah. No real questions yet.
Mhm. Yeah, but one of the things I did like about the series is Dr. Tenma's role in the story, because, as I said before, he's like this bad father figure, because in the original Astro Boy, he created him in the same version as like a Pinocchio story, where he had an actual son, but then the son ends up getting run over, and so he decides to try to recreate his son and makes a robot out of like resembling his dead son, and he even names him after him. And then the more time he spent with this new machine Adam, like he's upset with him because he doesn't age with him. It's not exactly the same kid that he had before. Then he ends up abandoning him, and that's where it leads to the Pinocchio story, where Adam gets taken by the circus, and then from there he becomes his own thing, becomes a superhero of the world. And it's funny because you don't see Dr. Tenma anymore in the original story. He's just kind of like up and gone. And
Yeah.
it's not until like this version of the story and the 2003 anime that where you actually see Dr. Tenma in a more pivotal role in the story, which is usually like this psychotic villain.
Yeah.
There's this other character that I don't know whether it's a reference on Astro Boy or a reference to 20th Century Boys. It's that there's this one machine called Shadow, which has like this. I'll give you a picture of what he looks like. Yeah, because when I saw this character design, I couldn't help but think that I'm not sure whether it was the creators of the anime's idea or they were taking a reference to the. Here it is, to the 20th Century Boys friend villain.
Oh, that's the guy on the left.
Yeah, on the one on the left, because I really don't know like what came first, or I just found it like interesting that like it's a Pluto series with those two authors, and then there's this one machine that happens to have like a similar design. So
Yeah, he.
I don't know, maybe it's based on the Egyptian eye. I don't know. But
It is funny. Kind of looks like Friend. The only difference is like half of his body is white, the other half is black.
yeah.
It's got like these little buttons
Mm.
on his thing.
Yeah, those. Because the author of Cyborg 009, Shotaro Shinomori, was like an assistant to Tezuka, and those two have like a similar style. So if you look at the characters from Cyber 009, they all have like these different buttons on their chest, like almost everybody does.
Wow.
Yeah, because they have similar styles with the curvy, cartoony look.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
But
another thing that threw me off, which obviously I can't talk about, was Geisha's wife.
mm,
Like, I can't obviously talk about this because people who are watching get spoiled.
yeah,
But something happens, and she goes through hardships because of it. And what was interesting was her interactions with like with Adam. I found that very interesting. That was very good.
yeah. Going back to like the whole serious take, I do like how they mentioned the that 39 Central Asian War in a lot more detail. Or I feel like that was a better way to start the story off, seeing like all these different robots actually go into war, and then it just kind of see like this this dehumanization of humanity. But it also feels like their worries about having a like this robot like coming against you, and then they could pretty much annihilate a war like that, just depending who has the higher power.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
The thing was, what was it? Epsilon. That's his name.
the one that looks like Johann Liebert, or the
Yeah. Like he when you see him, like, this is a flashback where he's told to go down these steps.
oh
And there's just that underground area where it's just riddled with the dead or broken down robots.
yeah.
And he's told to use his ability. His power is.
Oh yeah, he's like they made him a lot more deadlier in that in this version than the original series. Like, that much I can tell you for sure.
And he basically uses his power and then destroys all the. So.
I know that's one of the examples of the whole war messages that Tezuka tends to go for. Only here that it's done in much more gritty detail, and that's the thing. But then again, it makes more sense because not just because of the times, but if there's any like Astro Boy fans, like let's say from the Japan fan base, that they're older by now, so they should be able to experience a much more mature tale.
Yeah.
Also the territory.
Yeah. Okay, we got Anime Gaming Nerd. He says, "Yo, Bonkai, how you doing, Anime Gaming Nerd?" Let's see. Okay. No real questions yet. But yeah, I mean, I mean, I think it was. I'm trying to figure who it was. Oh, that's who it was. It was. It was actually Uber Akari, I think. He was the one who told me about, to a certain extent, Pluto and 20th Century Boys.
Mm. Now, the only person I heard Pluto from was actually Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
Yeah, he was the one that's like, I feel like he's the one of the few people on YouTube that's like the most Naoki Urasawa fan, or maybe the
Yeah,
most out of everything. Like he goes on about Monster and well, like I said, Monster, Pluto, and 20th Century Boys all the time.
yeah,
I think he told me one time that Pluto was his favorite manga. I think he said that.
yeah.
I think he said that. I don't know, I could be wrong.
I mean, it definitely, to me, after reading it, I could definitely see it being one of the top of seinen.
Oh yeah, yeah, especially when it turns up science fiction and the robot aspect.
So it's a shame he's not here instead of an invite on Skype, but obviously he must have forgotten or something. But,
I don't know. Either that or yeah, if he's on, if not, then he's probably asleep within the following hour.
yeah. So, but yeah, it was a read that there were just so many. Another thing that was crazy about the manga was there were so many feels, there were so many emotions.
Oh yeah.
That I think is one of the big things.
Yeah, everyone with a kid, like just,
Yeah,
it's like everyone had either a kid or a wife or something,
yeah.
Like everyone had a family of some sort.
Especially when it was Dr. Tenma, and he said about how to bring back a robot.
Ah, that scene, yeah.
That whole thing he said, wow. I was just like, I think he said something along the lines where you take like all these different personalities and you put it into the robot. I was like,
yeah,
oh.
I know the robot by itself's got to figure out like which one it wants and then
Yeah.
understand itself. I'm like, the thing is, that's what I loved about his portrayal in the story, because it shows him like very insane but very obsessed about his work and about the things he creates. Especially like how towards the end he figures out the revelation about the one in charge of Pluto and all that. I don't know, because he's just like this very. He's almost a psychopath, really. Just like he's like a non-violent psychopath. That's what Dr. Tim.
Yeah. He's very he's. And here's another thing I just realized.
Mm.
This was a character who was, I think, the principal of Adam's sister's school. He looked exactly like the guy from Monster.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the. Be more specific, like which one from Monster?
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. There's always like some designs that look familiar or too similar to each other. Like the main character for Billy Bat, he resembles a lot Dr. Tenma. So
yeah.
just with a different hairdo.
Let's see. Pluto. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, I just checked right now that Osamu Tezuka's son like was supervising the manga as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's Makoto Tezuka says here. Supervised the series. Tezuka Productions listed as given cooperation. Yeah, but anyways, going back to the while you're looking for the page, the what I love about this version of the story is that it's very compact. It's a good mystery for 8 volumes, and I'm glad he didn't like stretch it out for too long. This is like one of easily his shortest stories, and it works. Like within 8 volumes, and that's like really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Let's see if I can find him. Don't think I can find him.
Mm.
No, that's not him.
Mm. Yeah, because I know there was I'm trying to think. What I did like that from me experiencing like the Astro Boy series first and looking into Pluto, I can appreciate a little bit more just to see like
yeah, definitely.
yeah, I see like how the more seinen, violent, gritty mature take on the story, because a lot of the things in the original weren't. It wasn't exactly good. It was more a basic good versus evil kind of thing with like an ironic message, which wasn't good. It just didn't come out good. The best portrayal in an animated form was the 2003 anime. It's like a two-part episode, but even then, it's there's pros and cons between the two, but there's a lot of similar scenes, like with Uran having like Astral's sister having interactions with Pluto. That's still the same in both series. Like Adam having this responsibility like upon the world, and the body count that happened in both series is like, oh my god! But one of the things I did love is what you mentioned earlier about the horn thing. Like that wasn't in the original. When I saw that here, I was like, that's brutal. It's like brutal and grotesque. These robot corpses or remains of them. You have these horns shoved into them. It's like,
yeah. Let's see.
Any luck or?
I'm still looking.
What character from Monster were you thinking about then? Like
the guy who was it's been a while since I've seen Monster, but it was the guy who he was like helping that girl. It was Johan's sister. He was helping her. It wasn't Dr. Tenma. It was this fat old guy.
Oh, you mean was he wearing glasses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do. The guy you're talking about in Pluto is called let me see what names they gave him, because he had like 3 different names. There was one called Dr. Elephant. Chano Mizo. There we go. It was the the one that created Uran. That guy. Yeah, that's a sort of design, because it's funny, his original look, because he's actually, let me give you the picture that I linked you before. You're talking about this doctor, right? The one on the left.
Yeah. Well, there was him, and then there was this other guy, but he had a mustache.
Yeah, I can't remember that one, but I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember his name either, but yeah, he's the one that he was like this overweight guy, and he was there like for the whole library incident and all that one.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about. But yeah, because that's one of the designs that in the Pluto version that I'm kind of surprised about, because the original one, as you can tell, he had a very large nose, and that hair. I don't know. Yeah, I just love like the more zany look of the show. But the one that didn't really like look good to me though was the Elf Salon one. I don't know, that one to me looked very different, but partly because like it seems ironic that he's the one he has a big heart, but it looks like Johann Lieber like so much. So it's just like maybe you should have used that design for another robot. I don't know. Like, you could use someone else there, but but going back in the personalities, like one of the greater aspects that he gave pretty much each robot a personality, because in the original series, like all the other ones, like the one of the greatest pros was the one with the military and that guy that was like the blind musician. Like that's one of the good things about the Pluto manga. In the original series, it was like there was this old cranky old guy and a robot. That's it. That's all it was. It's like I'm just surprised. Like let's make a story out of that. And it's like he had nothing to work with, and he just comes up with let's be a part of this war, and they have this interaction with each other, doesn't like robots, and then it's like, oh, now they're friends. A really good piece of writing right there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Where you can make something that's like pretty bland and just make something very dramatic out of it.
Yeah.
This is one character though that I wish showed up, but that he wasn't part of the Pluto manga though. Like this is one robot from the '80s series called Atlas, and he pretty much was like this.
Oh wait, I believe I remember that.
Yeah, he was like this. In the '80s version, he was like this orange robot, was like Astral's half brother, in a way. And the thing is, he was like this robot, kind of like freedom fighter, sort of like dictator in a way. He wanted like everyone to be part of his side, and then eradicate the human beings because they couldn't preserve the peace. They would just fight amongst themselves. So he just started to take matters in his own hands. And I don't know. I felt like it would have been nice to incorporate in the story in some way or form, but I guess it would have messed up with the whole like murder mystery of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely saw similarities between, you know, the characters that were in Pluto and, Astro Boy and
Mm,
other works by Urasawa. And
yeah.
I just like the war aspect that
Uh,
was being introduced. Um, Especially when you got into who the robots were, that were the ones that were going to essentially kill these people and the one that was essentially going to destroy the world. I found that very interesting.
mm-hmm. The apocalyptic global scale, man.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of the examples where science is like gone too far. We're pretty much like it's like a countdown of our personal destruction like, on our own hands.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to like that. I haven't seen the movie, but on 2001: A Space Odyssey, where we create this machine that's
Oh, right.
when we create this machine that's supposed to be perfect in every way, but since we created it, it knows that we're uh, expendable and inappropriate for like for survival.
Yeah.
It's one of those stories that go there. Like even when the feelings, like the emotional feelings of Pluto, is kind of similar to some other sci-fi films. Like take movies like Short Circuit, The Iron Giant. You know that where the machines are developing emotions, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Then again, there's also RoboCop, where you have the humans like interacting with machinery, or
Yeah.
you become a machine. So. Yeah, it has all those classic themes of every robot series like meshed into Pluto, and that's one thing I love about it. Like if you're a robot fan of any sort, then that's like the manga for you to read.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You don't have to think of it. There's not that many robot mangas. Now that I think about it.
No, no, actually, there aren't.
Yeah,
There,
yeah.
there's Pluto. I can't think of any others.
I could think of some sci-fi anime that utilizes the same themes, but characters as robots.
The
No,
only
like
one I could
Astro
think
Boy is the
of,
only other one, really. So.
there was that movie, um, Metropolis. That's the name.
But then again, that's also a Tezuka product, so.
Yeah, that's a Tezuka product. But
Yeah.
that was an interesting movie. That
Mhm.
was done very. I thought that was done very nicely.
Oh
How
yeah.
they did that.
The shit. I was thinking of another one. Like there's some animes that use machinery, but
Yeah, but most of them is just. It's
I
just.
thought of one, but now it's left me. It's no, I don't remember what it was. Oh, there's this one episode in this OVA series called AD Police Files. The third episode was basically their version of RoboCop. It was like
Oh.
it was a good one because it was about this one guy who was part of like this military police force, whatever. That in this town they would have like these robots that would go out of control, so they gotta like make a special police force for that. But in this storyline, this one guy got like caught in an explosion or something. His body was mutilated. Like all was left was like a piece of his brain and his tongue. That's all was left of him. They made like this huge robot suit for him, and it shows how he's like decaying it to madness to the point where he starts using like this because he can't feel anything besides the thing on his tongue. So eventually he starts taking like these drugs to try to make him feel like human again. But then he goes like out of control, and then it's basically like a very dark version of RoboCop, and it's just done like in 20 minutes. It's like a really good OVA though.
I mean, like I don't.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, Cyber 009, Ergo Proxy are the only robot series I could think of, and
Yeah,
Bubblegum Crisis. Those are the only ones I could think of.
Ergo Proxy, Cyborg 009. They came out with a.
Which one?
What was it? There was another one. It wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with Cyborg 009, and the main character I think was a female.
Oh, you're thinking about 009-1, the one with the secret agent. Well, they were cyborgs, but it's from the same creator though. But it's like how can I put it? It's more of like a female James Bond is what she was. So.
The other one. Oh wait, that's what it was. Shit, what was the name of it? Kaiwriter?
Kikaider, I think.
Kaider, yes. Yes.
Let me see. Kikaider. Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, I think that's also from the same author of 009 actually.
Oh.
Yeah, because I know him and Tezuka they go for the superheroes and robots usually. So.
Because I remember,
That's the author for 009. Because I'm looking at the designs, I'm like, that's definitely his style. So.
because I remember that it was on. It was on Adult Swim.
Mm,
Yeah, it was on Adult Swim. They aired it. I don't know if they finished it, but they aired that series on Adult Swim.
mm. Yeah, I was told to watch that because by a couple of people. So
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta get to it at some point because yeah, going back to the whole robot thing, the only other series I could think about that had interwoven things about machinery versus humans of any sort was Bubblegum Crisis, which is an OVA from the 80s, and then
Oh, that one.
yeah, and his recent take in the mid 2000s, Bubblegum Crisis 2040, and like we mentioned before, Ghost in the Shell is another good example of that.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen the anime series though, but from the movie I can get a general idea of what the story is about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Boy is asking thoughts on the shots Urasawa took of the United States. Wait, what
Trust
is
me, man.
it?
Like every country like has a thing with America. Like they just
Yeah.
they're well, one of the reasons is understandable because it's not just because of our politics side with our presidents, but a lot of it goes to the World War II with the whole nuking thing.
Yeah.
Because it literally just kind of makes us I don't know how to describe it, but it just makes us look bad. Just we're the ones that were willing to eradicate like I don't know how many people, but yeah, basically every country is kind of like a somewhat hatred for thing. Because one thing my college professor from history would say that if you're a foreigner to another country, they might act nice, but just be careful because sometimes
Yeah.
American it might not always come out good. I don't know.
Yeah. Boy just said, like, they made Teddy Roosevelt the villain.
It's kind of hilarious in a way because I mean you do see like an actual Teddy.
Yeah, that was.
That's one of the scenes that like got my interest. Like, what is this? That's this
Well,
bear.
it's like anyone who doesn't know, obviously, who's watching this, this is probably the only spoiler I'll say. There's this like teddy bear you see, and you as you go along, you get the gist of what's going on with that. But it is just too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like everyone's got like there's some authors that every now and then they subtly rant on something because like for example like the author this is a different topic by the way but the author for Baki the Grappler I have no idea what's with him but he has like this hatred for boxers like this big hatred for him he's like the more you look at it the more noticeable it becomes because like even the beginning of the anime there's one guy that says like boxing is not a real martial arts and then the more I read, and then there's this one arc in New Grappler Baki that basically it was fuck, what was the name of that one boxer? The for some reason the name is slipping in my mind, but there's this one real life boxer, and he made him have a son, and he basically humiliates his son, like beating the crap out of him and saying that martial arts was better. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, why do you? Because I look at the author's like history, and he says that he's actually like done like martial arts and done some actual like amateur boxing. So I'm wondering, why do you hate boxing? I don't know. Maybe that's what Urasawa was going for. I don't have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then Boy asked favorite robot of them.
To be honest, like me,
I,
like.
I probably say rather Geesh.
Mhm.
For some reason, I like Epsilon. I don't know. I liked him. Or Adam.
Yeah. To me, it's always gonna be with Adam though, just because of the just that he's kind of like this like intermediate between humans and machines. Like he's the one that's supposed to, if you look at it like in some sort of like Destiny type of story, he's like the one that's supposed to bring peace among both of them, which I'm pretty sure that's Tezuka's intention. But yeah, because one of the things in Pluto, he doesn't have like the spotlight, but he's like a main character, but not the main focus. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like the main focus was definitely on Geesh more than everybody. So.
Definitely.
I feel like Geesh was like if you could take like Inspector Lunge from Monster and put him in Pluto, that's kind of like who he is.
Yeah,
It's kind of only without the the magic typewriter habit that he has.
yeah. Let's see what other comments we got here. Well, that was the only comment question, at least for now.
Mhm.
Just see.
Now, how long have we been going?
Quite a while, I believe. Rollers were amazing, but Epsilon is just. Yeah, that's true, Brez Boy. He is pure amazement, Epsilon. We started, I think, at around 10-ish, like 10:06, 10:05.
Mm.
So we were going that much. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
if I
guess.
were to rate, now this is, it's really difficult for me to say between 20th Century Boys and Pluto,
Like, you're trying to
which
figure out like which.
which one is better. That
Mm,
I don't think I can answer. But what
that's
I will say is that I think Urasawa, he really did a great job amenizing Tezuka's work here
mhm.
with this manga of his. I really do believe that. Did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause this is coming from my point of view. This is coming from the guy who's like seen the '80s and 2000s anime for it. I can guarantee you that this is like the best version of Pluto you ever experienced because the the original story was not not really good. But the thing is, like, with Pluto, like, I don't know why there isn't an anime for it. You think they would, especially since it's originally a Tezuka story. So.
Yeah. And I noticed another thing, like, in the fall, they're coming out with Parasite for an anime. And, like, you know, that's, like, it's really old. I mean,
Yeah.
take a look when that was made, and it surprises me that I feel that maybe what they need to do is they need to look at more of those mangas and consider animating them.
Yeah, there's a
'Cause
lot of like mangas that don't have animes or
yeah.
like yeah. Oh, speaking of robots, I just got another good one. Another good one that's actually from Shonen Jump. Like this series should have had an anime, but it never did. I have no idea why, because it's kind of like a mix of Terminator and Total Recall in a way. Like that kind of world. There's this one manga from Shonen Jump called Cyber Blue. They came out like in the mid '80s, but the thing is that series would have been so epic if it came out like as an anime like in the '80s, or it could have had an OVA. It would have been one of those cult hit OVAs that people would talk about, like saying like, "Oh, how cool it is" and stuff. I'll link you like the profile on my anime list because this is actually from the author of Fist and North Star, and he just took.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's basically like a sci-fi. It's like the Terminator version of Kenshiro. Is what it is.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons why I loved it. I'm really scratching my head wondering why didn't this get an anime? It's very short also. It's only 31 chapters, 4 volumes, and Shonen Jump title. I'm thinking, why didn't you have one? It's like, what? It makes no sense to me. I don't see why why that one didn't have an anime for it. Because especially like right now, there's some spin-offs going on since like 2011, 2012, and I'm wondering, so when's the anime coming out, guys? I'm just, I mean, this thing's not even licensed over here. Fucking. I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah, I just wonder about it because if they can make an anime out of Parasite, then
Mhm.
surely they can make animes out of Pluto
There's a lot
and
of things that they just need some animes like big time, like well, one of my friends' favorite mangas is this thing called Doro Hedoro, which is about like this
all that.
that one. Yeah, that one.
I'm collecting the hell out of that series.
Uh, it's really out there that Doro
It
Hedoro.
really is. It people tell me like they message me and they say, Bonkai, you reading Doro. Last time I read that, this happened, and I want to collect it for two reasons.
Okay.
Number one, the artwork. For some reason, I like that artwork. That the
Very gritty and
very
nasty.
gritty, very dirty, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, you can call it that because it has like the sketchy look to it, but
Yeah. And then obviously, the other reason is I just love the covers. It's just each cover for each volume is different in the character that's on there, the
mhm.
color scheme. It's just you don't get that often in manga. Uh, art.
Dora is like it's has a lot of good characters and a good mystery to it. That's like I'm collecting the volumes myself also. I'm up to date with that, but yeah, that's like another series I wish there was an anime for, but there's just so many things that like they don't have animes for some reason.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can forgive them not having to do a 20th Century Boys anime because they have the movies,
Oh yeah.
but Pluto. Come on, gotta
Man, like there's room to explore because one of the things I would love to see in anime form is like get a more visual representation of the robot world, or just seeing like all these different robots like interact with each other and stuff. Let your imagination explode, man.
yeah, definitely. Uh, okay, amazing. Boy saying Brando was amazing. Hercules, yo, Hercules trying to avenge Brando.
Oh yeah.
Seeing the melody in the sky while getting raped by Pluto.
Like those are like manly robots, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Brett's been a good point. The
But
usage of color, especially when it was the flowers.
I'm trying to remember that.
That's with the guy when Astro's um, Adams. I mean, Adam's sister. She goes and finds that that bum guy,
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and
now I
then
remember.
the
That turned out to
flowers
be.
that are colored. I like that. That was done very beautifully
Mhm.
on pages because you don't get that often,
Mhm.
especially in a single page. No, the manga. Okay. But yeah, it was. If I would give a rating for Pluto, 9 out of 10.
Mhm.
Of course, Walking Dead they heard that he'll probably say no, it's a 10 out of 10. But
Mhm.
I just feel like it was a perfect. They did. Ursaw did a great job, and I just loved every part of it as a whole. And you guys in the comment section, you want to ask a question about Pluto or any of those lines, we'll answer it. Probably go for this a little while longer, and I might end it, or I might bring in some people. I'll probably end it though, because we're just really talking about Pluto.
Mhm. Yeah, like in my opinion, with the ranking system, since I would say it would probably be a 9 or a 10. I'm not sure which one would be better, but well, I know Dave would go with a 10, obviously. But yeah, it's definitely the best version of the Pluto storyline, and that's one of the things I appreciate from it. But I appreciate even more if it had an anime of some sort, but or,
Yeah.
or a movie, anime movie, something, or
This would be a perfect opportunity for James Cameron. Now, I already know that rumors are going around that after he's done with his Avatar thing, he's going to try to do
was it?
Alita.
Yeah, yeah, Battle Angel Alita. So.
But this would be perfect for him.
Uh,
Absolutely perfect for him to do this.
oh yeah.
But,
Oh,
you know,
you reminded me of something that I don't want to remember. It was the recent Astro Boy movie, the CGI one. So
what now? You think it sucked?
I didn't like it really. Yeah, like
I
I
mean,
like Astro Boy a lot, but when I saw that movie, I was like, it's not as creative as the original series at all. And like one of them is like one of the things that bothered me was some of the robot designs, those weren't Tezuka looking robots at all. It was like for example, there's these robots that are like literally like a wiper and a spray. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Because the reason why I don't like that because the 2003 anime, they have those type of robots, but they're done in much more creative ways. They're basically like these worker bees that would like fly around the windows and squirt like all these like the
oh
water.
right, that's what it was.
And but with here, it's like you just get a wiper and a spray and make them fly and talk. I'm like, what the? I really didn't like the movie. I was just like, it's not. It's kind of Astro Boy, and it's not really not. Then I don't know. I just didn't. It's like it's an okay movie, but it's like for someone that's like really knows a little bit about Astro Boy, I'm like, it's kind of average. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, any movie that Hollywood's tried to do of a live action of anime has been just a complete and utter.
No, it's not just Americans, man. I've seen like Japanese live action movies that just didn't work either. It's like what's this one boxing series like Ashita no Joe had like a live action movie in 2011, and I'm wondering, like, it's boxing. Like, it's a good story. It's like, there is no way you could fuck this up. And I watched it, I'm like, you fucked it up. I'm like, it's so weird because, like, it has the setting, it has the feel, you have the characters, but you're not following the story right.
Yeah.
I have no idea, like, where do these people come from? Because I'm wondering, like, how can you screw these things up? It's so easy. Like, the story's done for you. Just follow it. Just...
I know, it's just terrible. And I shouldn't even mention Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah, you know, the
It was so bad.
the movie that must not be spoken, man.
Thank God I didn't see that in the theaters. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that in theaters either, but you know, seeing it online was, you know, that's enough for me. It's just oh my God, I think I was in high school when that movie came out. Yeah, I was in high school because I remember people were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, no, no.
I mean,
yeah, but going back to Pluto, I guess.
Pluto, yeah, let's talk about that. I want to talk about that movie. It's so bad. How can you not?
No. You know, the other Dragon Ball live action movie, The Magic Begins, that one's like a lot better. It's like it's lower budget, and I'm like, but it feels like Dragon Ball. So that's enough for me. Like, so no standards have been reached.
Yes. Let me see what we got. Comments. Let's see. There's one question. If I have the time one day, will you invite me into? Sure, Chibi. Chibi reviews. I'll do it. Sure. Yeah. Definitely. That would be interesting. So, you want to add, Anime Hero, anything else about Pluto?
Well, I got nothing to say, but other than that, I guess I could say that if you enjoy Pluto, then I would I would try to recommend, but the thing is, I would say you should like the 2003 version of the Astro Boy anime, but the thing is, you can only find it dubbed, and you can't really find it in Japanese anywhere. The dub means it's a little off. That's the best way to describe it. Think of it like, you know, the days of like when Digimon was airing. The dub is something like that. But the thing is, I really like the anime, but if you can't get past the dub, then I wouldn't. Then don't try to watch it. No, because I really like the series. I like the story it tells, but as I said before, the dub would like make it or break it for you. But if anything, I would try to. I don't know. The other series I would recommend that's like a little more mature, even though it has nothing to do with robots, is Tezuka's Blackjack series.
Right. I saw part of that.
Yeah. Contrary to what some people believe, is not about gambling at all whatsoever.
No, it's not.
This medical doctor who has like works without a license is pretty much like a bit of a vagabond at times, but he basically charges people different sums of like a ridiculous amounts of money, and then tries to teach them like, you know, money is like, I mean, not money, that life is precious and you should be willing to pay anything to save yourself or saving others. And he's Blackjack is similar to Captain Harlock in a way, where he's like this very stubborn type of kind of heroic figure who has like the strict sorts of guidelines, his own personal moral code. But yeah, I would recommend watching the Blackjack OVAs. That's like the more mature take on the series. So if you enjoy Pluto, you should check out Tezuka's other stuff. Blackjack OVA is a way to go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Pluto. Everyone in the comment section, go read it. It's really good. I'm telling you right now. And you know, it was Yeah, it was something. It was definitely a good thing to read after reading 20th Century Boys. But I would say read Pluto first because obviously it's shorter than 20th Century Boys, and
Hmm.
I just like the characters. I think that was the robots, the scientists that made the robots, everything about it was great. Really done very well. Um, and anyone who's read the final part of Pluto, like the very end, I'm like that very end scene. I just cringe because like I don't, it's like you got to really think about what happens after that last scene. You
Yeah.
know, you can't leave it to your. I was like saying, okay, this happened, and you figure out what happened. But it was a good read, and I definitely suggest everyone pick up Arosaw's works. They're very good, very good. 9 out of 10. So,
Nice.
I want to thank Anime Hero for coming in.
Uh huh.
Thank you.
Pluto.
Pluto, yeah, Pluto. Walking Dead couldn't make it. Yeah, that's pretty much the story. And I'm probably going to do is when I get around to it, which as of right now, it's not going to be happening until I collect the rest, Dorohedoro. I'll probably do a review on that as well,
Hmm.
and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. Bankai 922 Anime Hero. You want to sign out?
Yeah, I'm the anime hero. I review animes so you can enjoy it. I usually specialize in manly anime. Is what I love to do. A bunch of like 80s shonen, 90s shonen. Like the shonen's my thing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And before we head out, let me just take a look at the comment section because it might be like, um,
Oh yeah. I'll just say this one last word. In the future, I'm actually currently working on this project of Joe Bizarre Adventure, where I'm gonna give like this big presentation about talk about the series, about like its roots in art and everything. Because originally this idea started because I did this presentation for my college art class in art history, and then I was telling them like how you try to give it like an insight, like just because they make comic books doesn't mean that you should look down upon them for not being actual artists.
hmm.
Because that's the thing I'm trying to explain is that even though it's a comic book, the artwork is still good. You gotta appreciate it, and that's the point of the project that I want to do. Because JoJo's hype train is close to becoming mainstream right now.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Red's Boy saying final thoughts. The way the robots wanted to put the past away and just live normal lives was beautiful. These weapons of mass destruction just want to experience human life, yet end up being manipulated physically and mentally by humanity's greed. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, it was definitely shown in there, Red's Boy. I mean, I really love Pluto. No shit, dead serious. It was really a crazy way to show the struggle between humanity and robots and how robots act like humans with the
Hmm.
emotions that they receive and everything. That was a hell of a trip. So I'm gonna end this here. Thanks for joining me, guys. And I know it's kind of short, but the hell, we're just talking about Pluto, and yeah, it'll be off air. But if anybody wants to join, I'll put a link in the J room, I guess, for it. You want to join for the off-air discussion or something. So I'm Bonka922. We will see you guys later. Peace.